Alright, hi, hello. This is kind of a different video. I've tried making this sort of video in the past before. It was a shit video. I did not have as good of a mic as I have now, but I'm gonna be talking about three stories from r slash confessions. So let's get into it. Alright, moving on to story one. It's titled I'm Not a Virgin Anymore, but I Still Tell People That I am. So, since I'm Christian, I always say the I'm waiting till marriage line, but in reality, I did the opposite. The new chef in my workplace was flirting with me, and we kinda had a thing going on for a couple of weeks. Nothing serious. I think we both knew. It was just a playful thing. He told me one morning that he'll have the whole house to himself. Coincidentally, I had an exam that afternoon, and guess what I did? I finished that exam so fast, went and brought lingerie, and basically teleported to his house. Both of us were virgins, so I can't even say anything about his performance. I guess because there was no ounce of affection in that sex, it felt like nothing. He lasted about 2 minutes and got the biggest post nut clarity, and then he pushed me to go home. The next couple of days, I was early at work and it was just the two of us. He was flirting with me yet again and managed to convince me to give him head in the storage room. And to no surprise, he had the post nut clarity of a lifetime and he fucking ignored me the whole entire shift. After this two incidents, we stopped talking and interacting with each other at work and in general, we literally won't look each other in the eye. I still work with him and no one knows about what happened to us. Crazy thing is that my boyfriend started working at the same place just recently, and he doesn't know I lost my V card to the chef he talks to every damn day. Alright, so an edit, the original poster is added, is that she had a boyfriend way after the whole sex thing with the chef, so she didn't cheat on him, just in case you felt like knowing that. But yeah, this story seems pretty fucked. And honestly, it's kind of hilarious, the actual desperation to have sex, you know, because obviously it said that she literally rushed out of her exam just to have sex. I personally wouldn't do that, even if I was older. But yeah, that's pretty hilarious. Anyways, before we begin this next story, in case you're not comfortable with topics of self harm or anything about that, I suggest you skip to the next story or just not watch the rest of the video. Okay, so story 2. I, 30, straight slash female, don't have anything to live for anymore. Don't you have family? No, literally no one is left. Don't you have a partner or spouse? No, the two long term relationships I've had were both abusive. What about your career? I spent the past 12 years working my ass off to get where I am, and I'm probably going to lose my businesses in divorce. What about children? I don't have children and cannot have children. Now that we have the common questions out of the way, I am 2 months away from probably just offing myself, to be frank. I think the only reason I haven't yet is because of my dog. The divorce process has given me an opportunity to get things in order, considering I don't have any next of kin to make arrangements should something happen to me. I know my dog will be well cared for and loved. I don't want to mislead anyone into the idea that the divorce is the reason for the way I feel. I have felt this way for a long time, but there was always a yin to the yang. There's been this massive level of depression and not wanting to exist, but also this excitement to see what happens next, where I'll end up next. I've realized, though, somewhere along the way that I've lost that excitement for life. It's as though nothing is exciting, not even large life events. My brain struggles with the idea of wanting to stay on what I consider to be a prison planet, constantly being close enough to having a good life, just for it to never truly come to fruition. It's honestly exhausting and soul shattering. I don't know how one person can deal with so much loss and grief and come out the other end still alive. I've lost my whole family. I've grieved my childhood friends who've died from ODs and cancer. I spent my first birthday and holidays completely alone. The only good thing I really had going was my businesses. I'm too exhausted to build another one from the ground up, and I've spent well into the six figures to fund it. Everything I had out of my inheritance. I think about every day truly. What's the point of life if you have no one left around you? And yes, I know that you can always meet new people, but it isn't the same as the best friend you met in third grade and did everything together for years, or the relationship with your mom. Irreplaceable relationships. What would you do if you found yourself in my shoes? Alright, so that was definitely a dark turn in terms of story. And before I give my commentary on it, I just want to say that if any of you are facing these sorts of motivation issues or any form of depression where you just don't feel like it's worth going on, you're not alone. Okay. I can't say I suffer from this myself, but I'm guaranteeing you there's always people who will love you forever. Even if you may think you have nobody in your life, there will always be people in your life. I promise you that. Now, I don't really know. I can't link any sort of suicide hotline because the country that I live in isn't really the country my videos get recommended to, at least. So, whatever I write about this will be pretty irrelevant. But I'm just saying, you are never alone. There will always be people for you. And it's not just about giving up, you know. Also, there was a lot of edits to the story. I'll link the full stories down in the description, the Reddit threads, if you want to read it, but I'm not gonna describe all of that. It's like 15 or so edits. Alright, moving on to story 3. I jerked off to my Tinder date. What an amazing title. Alright, so I, male 24, got a Tinder match like 3 weeks ago. She looked hot and whatnot. We talked and flirted. Her pictures were amazing. Anyways, after 4 or 5 days, we managed to set up a date at a restaurant, and boy oh boy, I had no clue what I was in for. Once I saw her in person, it's like all my breeding hormones started firing all together. The famous neuron activation monkey meme. The curves were fucking insane. Huge tits and an extreme ass to waist ratio that almost caught me drooling in the middle of the restaurant. The whole time I couldn't focus. And as soon as I got home, I jerked off twice, back to back, which is already very rare for me. And the day after, and the day after that. Currently, it's under control. Do you think in the future, if things get serious, I should tell her that the later dates were better? but literally after every date, I have this unstoppable urge to jerk off, and I do so. She seems really nice, and now I was looking for a serious relationship other than a hookup, so I haven't pushed things in that direction. But I just can't control myself every time I see her. Alright, so the original poster and added couple additional infos, as in I did initially find her hot, that's why I swiped her, but in her pics I had no idea she had such a tiny waist and huge hips. Yes, that's actually how it's written with four U's. Prior to that, I hadn't combusted, and it's not spelled like the word combusted. You just take out the O and you add a U. You can tell what I mean. Combusted, emphasis on come, in like 4 weeks. So that might also be in influence. I'm not gonna lie. When I first read the story, this was fucking hilarious to me. You can tell I'm laughing while narrating this, and still, it's so hilarious, dude. I mean, yeah, if you swipe on someone on Tinder, obviously you're gonna think they're attractive, at least for you. Maybe you're just too attracted to them. Maybe it's just lust, just a bunch of lust. And I don't think that's wrong, but at the same time, you should really keep this the fuck away from her. As in, if you ever get in a serious relationship, I would keep this shit to the grave. That in our first few dates, I started wanking my schlong to this girl, to you. Yeah, this is something I take to the grave, bro. Also, there was a really funny comment under this, which said that some other guy's girlfriend wanted to watch him jerk off. Yeah, that's not true, bro. It's not. But yeah, guys, that was all for today's video. Comment down below if you want to see any more Reddit stories like these. I personally enjoy reading them. If you want to send any confessions to me, do let me know in the comments and I will create a form or something like that. Or you can mail the email that's in my channel description. But until next time, bye. I love you all consensually.